y'all, Stacy here. I'm excited to be sharing my chop and chat with you today. Today is going to be a single vendor chop and chat. I have pulled some Teddy Bee items that I want to get into before the winter season is over, and so I'm just going to be chopping through those today. As a quick reminder, this is my channel, Stacy Sagas. I do use mostly 25 watt and up Scentsy warmers as I am a Scentsy consultant, and those warmers are typically on for about 15 hours a day. I do have, I think, exactly four, yes, votive warmers. Two of them were made for me by a friend who's a potter, and I use them occasionally, but it's very rare because of the open flame of it all. First up, I have Christmas Past, and this is one of my favorites from Teddy Bees. It's holiday cinnamon, fallen leaves, crisp apples, crushed pine needles with hints of sweet balsam. I had originally chopped this and intended to, just have this half be for next year, but I can't wait, and I do have another tub, so I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this. I love this scent. It's so beautiful to me. If you guys have watched me for any length of time, you're probably savvy to the fact that I like a wide variety of scents. And I like a wide variety of, let's call them, modalities of scents. I enjoy, wax melts like Scentsy Wax melts, which make up about 70 to 80% of my wax collection. I consider that to be the backbone of what I melt. I enjoy vendor wax, I enjoy candles, I enjoy essential oils, I enjoy putting spices and fruits together on my stove in a hot pot. 2, 3. Okay, that's good. So, Christmas Past to me is one of these fragrances that is just very nostalgic. It's relatively new to me. I've only smelled it, like, I think within the past year and a half or 2 years, but it's just a beautiful, elegant fragrance, and it's very homey. So I'm excited to melt this, and I do feel like I'm going to be able to melt it all winter happily. Now, my next one that I have here is one that is kind of just for me, and this is going to take me forever to get through. This is Witches Be Crazy for Eggnog, and, well, let me just read the scent notes for you. It's birthday cake, pecan waffles, sugar cookie dough, a pinch of cinnamon spice vanilla, blended with bath vanilla eggnog and buttered rum eggnog. It's a lot. There's a lot in there. I enjoy this one, and I actually think I'm going to set this one aside for a second and chop it a little later so that I can chop some more spice notes before I get into chopping that one. It's one that I alternate warm with because it's just a bit too sweet for some folks in my family. I am going to go ahead and chop this Dracaris. This thing was magical. I had a sample of this and I melted it in my bedroom. It definitely changes as it goes, but it is the most warm, beautiful fragrance that, to me, on the second day, which typically I would have changed it out, but on the second day, it really gave almost like a spicy, the only thing I can reference it to is similar to like a bonfire beach, but you wouldn't know that. What would you call that? Beach nights, maybe? Which it's not. Obviously, I just read off those scents. Maybe it's the fire component, the smoke, maybe, you guys? Yeah, because there's smoke in there. So, but it's beautiful. And I typically do not get 2 days out of vendor wax. Most common for me with vendor wax is 6 hours, which is why, typically for me, I alternate warm with other options, but I get really, really great performance out of this. It was an incredibly busy time, and it was beautiful when I was smelling it, and I thought, oh, why did I have to put this in on a busy day? And I expected it to drift off in 6 hours, but it did not, and then in 12 hours it did not, and then it made it the 15, and then the next day when it came back on, it wasn't the same scent that it was the first day to me, but it really was, I think, probably the best comparison would be like a spicy, magical beach nights, and I was so happy with it. So I'm very excited to go ahead and chop this up and see if I get the kind of performance that I got out of the sample out of this souffle, which will be exciting if that is the case. Next up, we're going to be chopping up a square. This is a forget-me-not. This one is called Cranberry Balsam. It's sweet covered cranberries, sweet vanilla, and cool balsam. This is one that anytime I see cranberry and balsam, I'm probably going to be excited to try it. I love balsam scents and I also love cranberry scents, so how could I not? I will say part of the reason I didn't chop this earlier in the season is on cold sniff to me, this leans a little powdery and it does lean, yeah, just a little bit medicinal to my nose. I love a cranberry, but I think this is potentially going to be a very dominant cranberry, and I don't really pick up a whole lot of the balsam. And I don't know, I kind of feel like I maybe should have let this one sit and should not be warming it now. But I really don't, if I don't love something on first sniff, I don't really want to put it through the curing game. Um, I am really enjoying curing all wax, like vendor wax, Scentsy wax, all of it. I have a fun time now just kind of getting some for now and some for later and seeing which notes kind of evolve over time. But for me, I don't have a ton of storage. And so my threshold for whether or not I will kind of cure a wax is, do I at least like it when it first arrives to me and is ready to melt? Sometimes, like when you get vendor wax, it says, don't melt it for 90 days or 30 days or something. But um, we'll see. I'm excited to see how this one goes, and it may surprise me, and then that would be great. Okie dokie. So let's get back to Witches Be Crazy for eggnog. This is a scent that I think um, I I'm not giving it a hard time, but I just wanted to make sure I cleaned my um, tool and that I kind of got the spicier notes through. It's such a beautiful one. I love the glitter and the taupe. It can be so. Oh, it's beautiful. I love this fragrance. Now, for me, one of the things I'll just show you is with these scent notes, it's got birthday cake and then waffles and sugar cookie dough. Anytime a scent gets like to that level of it, it's got basically all the sweet things in it. A majority of my household is going to maybe enjoy it, but if it's alternate warmed with something else, because it's just a little too sweet for them. I have melted this. I had a souffle of it, and I did have to take it out of my warmers. I was happy and content, but it was too sweet for a lot of the people in my home. So we did have to take that one out. I don't know what its performance would have been. So I do love Witches Be Crazy. And like, I think oh no, that's Wish a Witch Woods a Witches Be Crazy blend? Because that's one that everybody loves. There's just a certain level of blending that some folks in my house really need. So this is going to be likely mostly a companion office melt for me when I want to kind of sweeten things up. And I will also enjoy melting it alone. But I think most of the time I'm going to be partner melting this with a coffee scent because I love coffee scents, but it will be just me in my office enjoying that. To me, it's not like disqualifying for a fragrance if it's short lasting or if I need to partner melt with it because I love layering. That's part of the fun for me. I love mixing and layering and making my own combinations. So I have found that eggnog scents in general are not my favorite. In this blend in particular, I really enjoy the eggnog, but I think what I love the most is the Witches Be Crazy component of it. And just in an alternate warmer with any coffee scent is really good. Well, not any. I guess there are some bad coffee scents. Next is one that I'm super excited about for a nice bedroom melt. This is Pink Moon. It has scent notes of pink sugar, sweet lavender, the smell of rain, crushed apple blossoms, and bruised flowers. And this one I was intrigued by when Alexis Schluter was talking about it because the way in which she spoke about it and her experience with it, look how pretty it is, reminded me of how she also spoke of blushed. And I listened to her and I grabbed some blushed in a couple of pre-orders ago, and I love that one. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to be chopping some in just a minute, and I just thought I've got to give this one a try. If this is the blushed of this go round, I decided to give it a try. I don't love florals, but I can tell you I have already melted this. This is the second souffle of Pink Moon that I am chopping up. And I did discover that I don't need to subdivide this particular souffle. So I just have the single row of cuts on there. I do use a little bit more wax in my warmer for this one, but it is beautiful. And I do have some more. So I was originally I thought I was going to leave that one and let it cure for some time and try it, but I'm just enjoying it so much. I wanted to go ahead and have this second souffle chopped and ready to go for when I fully finish my first souffle, which is probably going to happen in just a little bit. Next, we have a loaf. This is blushed. This is the one that I was just talking about. I love this scent. I cannot believe how much I love this scent. It's vanilla birch blended with peach flesh, strawberries, warm woods, and marshmallows. I first heard about this, as I was saying earlier, from Alexis, and man, I think it was last spring. I can't remember, but it just became one of my favorites. I adore it. And I am a person who, like, I will maybe rock with a scent for 2 or 3 days. Look how pretty it is. But when I started melting blushed, I was like, well, just everything needs to smell like this all the time. I just did not want to transition away from the scent. So I kind of had to hide it from myself and tuck it away so that I would not melt through my entire stash of blushed, because I was trying to age it to see how it ages and all of that stuff. But this is one that performed well for me right out the gate, and I have kind of allowed myself a staggered allotment of blushed. I don't get a full 15 hours out of this all the time. Sometimes I do in like smaller spaces. I definitely do. And there was there's so many factors that come into play, but I do use lower wattage warmers. And so I think one of the things that they're not low wattage warmers though, but I use, like in my office, I use 12-watt warmers and I get great throw from them. And I think when you have lower wattage warmers, this is not scientific, I don't know for a fact, but I feel like those warmers don't burn off the oils as fast. So I do think sometimes going with a lower wattage warmer can increase the longevity. I know some folks who only get about 4 to 6 hours out of this fragrance. Um, for me, I typically get right around 8, and then I can get up to a full day. And in my office space, I have gotten into the second day before, but also I just will change it out and put more of it in because it's so beautiful to me. So I am going to just try and return this to its 10 rather than put it in the bag individually. I would just drop these little cubes in the bag if I wanted to use it right now, but I'm going to try and wait until February to start um, melting this. So I'm going to keep it in the little tin where it will be harder for me to get out. Just putting little roadblocks for myself, because I do think I'm going to love this. Like, oh, it smells so good, but I'm going to enjoy it now. But I do like to kind of spread it out. And it's a very rare thing for me to have a wax that I would, you know, um, have going and then replace that fragrance with the same fragrance. I just like variety typically, but this is one that just I've been enchanted by and I really enjoy it. And there it is, that's blushed, and we shall see. Does this loaf make it to February? Fingers crossed. We shall see if it makes it to February. Fingers crossed. So let's take a look at what all I've chopped up here. I've got Pink Moon and blushed, and then this cranberry balsam, that's going to be an adventure. And the Christmas past, that's going to be gone like yesterday. I love that one. It's going in my warmer soon. Then I did the Witches Be Crazy for eggnog, and we have the Dracaris, which I think actually Dracaris will be the next one of this bunch that I'm going to reach for, and I'm so glad these are chopped and ready so that I can reach for them. Thank you so much for watching with me. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that we can stay in touch. I would also really appreciate to hear in the comments, are you a person that likes to stay consistent with the scent notes that you melt in your home, or do you tend to like to melt a variety of scents?